Thursday, Friday, happy days. The weekend comes, myself hums, ready to race to you.
Yeah, you right. Happy days coming your way. And in 30 minutes, Laverne and Shirley, exclusively on Your View, Louisiana. The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson canceled. The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson canceled. The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson canceled. Where's number 9? There he is. Yeah, you right, Mr. Drew Brees. Mr. Drew Brees. Yeah, you right, Corey Johnson back at you. I think the Honey Badgers back at Saints camp at the New Orleans Saints training facility. The Jim Finch training facility on Jim Mora Drive. Yeah, you right. A wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Corey Johnson with you. Live and local. New Orleans Drive Time Talk Radio program. Yeah, on Mondays, Brett Martell joins us usually. On Fridays, Fletcher Mackle joins us. We dedicate about 20 minutes a week to sports. I love sports. LSU, Saints, Tulane, Pels. I love sports. We talk food with Frank Brightson on Friday, and I always talk food during the week. Dedicate a little time towards that. Music, all kind of good stuff. I often say producing tomorrow's radio programs today. I got an email just a little while ago. Someone stole 2 of your topics. I don't know about that. I was just calling, so bad it's good. It can apply to so many things. And was talking about the Roadhouse movie a few months ago. Apparently that's someone's show topic today on the radio. Thanks for the email. Corey at CoreyTalks.com. That movie is so bad it's good. Corey at CoreyTalks.com. Kaare. Corey at CoreyTalks.com. Wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Yeah, you right. Or as the FM disc jockeys say, it's hump day. Halfway through the week. We're at the top of the hill. The weekend, you can kind of see it off in the distance. Friday, it's coming. Wide open Wednesday edition of the program. You're the show producer. Whatever you'd like to discuss. Rouse's Markets phone lines 504-766-9480. 766-9480. No screening process here. Don't go through a bunch of calls, questions, all kind of stuff. Jason, a.k.a. the Ragin' Cajun, a.k.a. the Man in Black, a.k.a. the Heat Magnet. Hey, what's your name? Where you calling from? Hang on, you're up next. That's it. I don't want you talking to Jason. There's one person, I think, anywhere that could handle screen calling, Jesus, and he's not coming down to screen calls. So I don't want you, kind of saying what you want to say on the air to Jason, then you forget about it on the air when you're on the air. And Jason doesn't want to talk to you, believe it or not. He's talking to the ladies. He's got a bunch of ladies, lady friends. He don't want to talk to you. He's got a show to produce. Anyway, no screening process. Hey, Frank, hang on. You're up next. Hey, Brenda and Gretna, you're up next. Hang on. That's it. And then when we disagree, I don't cut you off. Locally, nationally, that's like, I never understood that. Never understood the screening process. It's like, if you have a strong enough host, how strong do you have to be? Throwing out some topics, that's going to naturally get the callers calling about those topics, not something arbitrary. Man, I want to talk about the grassy knoll and the Kennedy assassination. It's like, what do you mean, dude? We've got a bunch of other topics. Anyway. Rouse's Markets phone lines 504-766-9480. I can handle criticism. I like constructive criticism. You whack job folks with agendas like juiced up Jimmy and Lafayette taking photos of me on TV in his den and emailing him. Weird. Nice shirt. What's up with your hair? Dude, you get new glasses. Just all kind of crazy stuff. I love it, though. I like it for the show. But anyway, no criticism. I'm not going to cut you off. 504-766-9480, an absolutely full slate. Doug Thornton from the Superdome is going to join us in about 10 minutes. The Superdome celebrating its 47th birthday today, 47 years old. The Louisiana Superdome, now known as the Caesars Superdome. Boy, the visionary Dave Dixon, huh? Governor John McKeithen. This goes back to the 60s. This is part of what got New Orleans the Saints. It wasn't, hey, you're going to be in Tulane Stadium. It's going to start at Tulane Stadium, and that's 110% temporary, and we move into this new Superdome, originally slated to open in 72. Then it was pushed back, politics and Louisiana nonsense. The 1975 Super Bowl in January, that was going to be at the Dome, but the Dome wasn't ready yet. So they moved that Super Bowl to Tulane Stadium. Imagine fans coming to town, going to Tulane Stadium for the Super Bowl, and the Superdome looks complete. It looks finished. It was about 6 months out from being complete. 5 months out from being totally finished, but 5 months out. No way to play the Super Bowl there. Super Bowl came in 1978. No, the city of New Orleans got an NFL team because of that future stadium, the Superdome. And then Super Bowls and Final Fours and all kind of events, from the Pope to the Rolling Stones, all kind of good stuff. And then what's bigger than all of that direct stuff? The indirect stuff. From 1972 to 1984, 13 years, 1972 to 1984. Early 70s to early to mid 80s. 25 plus major high-rise buildings built from the ground up in New Orleans. Piles driven, foundation laid, steel structure coming out of the ground. From 1972 to 1984, about 25 buildings, and the Superdome was one of them. Already on the drawing board, the land, 52 acres, ready to roll. It's a pretty amazing list over 10 years. One Shell Square, Marriott, Superdome, Hyatt Regency, Riverside Hilton, Amico Building, Mobile Building, One Canal Place, Pan American Life, Chevron Building, Texaco Center, Weston Canal Place, Entergy Tower on Loyola, One Poydras Plaza, Poydras Center, Place St. Charles, Entergy Center, JW Marriott, 1515 Poydras, that's across from the Dome. Freeport McMoran, across from the Dome. 1555 Poydras, across from the Dome. Windsor Court Hotel, Meridian Hotel. You get LL&E in 87, Benson Tower in 89. But from 72 to 84, basically One Shell Square in 72, Place St. Charles in 84, capping it off, and about 23 buildings in between from the ground up, anchoring it all on Poydras, the Superdome. You think about New Orleans' modern symbol to historic Jackson Square, it's the Superdome. Many cities don't have anything recognizable about them. Jackson Square, worldwide recognition. Everyone knows that's New Orleans. Jackson Square, St. Louis Cathedral, the Cabildo, the Pontalba Apartments, the Presbytere. It's incredible. And then the Superdome, iconic. The modern symbol of New Orleans, showing that we're not just this old historic city, we're a modern city too. And just the redo of Poydras, the transformation of the CBD, the transformation of the skyline, transforming New Orleans. Mid to late 80s, New Orleans had one of America's nicest skylines, modern, new glass buildings, multiple buildings, impressive. But it's 40 years old now, and there hadn't been much since then. Anyway, the Dome one of the big parts of it. Doug Thornton from ASM Global, the executive vice president, the man running the Dome and has been doing it for decades. Doug Thornton's going to join us next. Hey, tonight for dinner, how about Fausto's Italian Bistro? So good. If you love Sicilian and Italian like me, New Orleans-inspired Sicilian and Italian, you're going to love Fausto's. Convenient, parking right in front, great service, priced right, authentic, all fresh and homemade. Some of the city's best Sicilian and Italian. Tonight, for dinner, make it Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets. Doug Thornton from the Superdome next. The Port of New Orleans Napoleon Terminal is nearly doubling in size, with 4 new gantry cranes being installed and over $100 million being invested. That means lots of new jobs, port traffic, and tax dollars for the city. The Port of New Orleans, your port.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anyway. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Interlocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Interlocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Interlocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
For the cities, total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, no cool spots. NoAC.com, no cool spots.
This is what Drew Brees thinks about Super Discount Store in Chalmette. Actually, Brees doesn't think at all about Super Discount Store, but they do have the lowest prices allowed by Louisiana law for beer, alcohol, and wine. Super Discount Store in Chalmette. Super Discount Store!
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, now with 4 area locations. Canal at Carrollton, on the North Shore and Slidell, in Baton Rouge by the Mall of Louisiana, and now in Metairie, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. The Woodhouse Day Spa.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Louisiana is unique. The food, the festivals, even the bugs. No, not mud bugs. Unwanted bugs like these. The ones you don't want crawling in your home or business. Trust the Shield from J&J Exterminating. We've been protecting Louisiana homes for over 50 years, earning the trust of our clients because we deliver what we promise. Protect your home from pests. Get the Shield from J&J Exterminating.
J&J Exterminating. Yeah.
When you think of Fury's Restaurant in Metairie, you think about fresh local fish like flounder, snapper, and speckled trout, fried, broiled, or grilled. Fury's Restaurant in Metairie.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarms. With high-definition night vision surveillance systems, letting you see what's going on. Home surveillance that's smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them.
Hey, thanks so much for joining us. Oh, so fine, 93.9 FM. We're on New Orleans' own 107.9 FM, 600 AM from Baton Rouge to Pensacola, Florida. We're on Cox Channel 4 television, on TV all over Louisiana, Your View, Louisiana. That's Cox Channel 4, Spectrum Channel 333. Live streaming, CoreyTalks.com. And we're on YouTube now. Click to subscribe our YouTube channel. You can watch the program live or watch it later. Yesterday's program, last week's program, last month's program. The Louisiana Superdome celebrating its 47th birthday today. Boy, the widening of Poydras Street. Dave Dixon, the visionary, convincing John McKithen, a visionary himself, to build this dome stadium in the late 60s, helping to land the New Orleans Saints and anchoring what would become the modern skyline of New Orleans. I'm sure when Shell built One Shell Square in 72, they were well aware the Superdome was going up. It was already being constructed. And about 25 high-rise buildings built from 1972 to 84, anchored by the Superdome. Doug Thornton has been running the Superdome for decades and decades. He's the executive vice president of ASM Global, and he joins us on the program again. How you doing, Doug?
I'm fine, Corey. How are you?
I'm doing really well. I want to say Sports Foundation was the gig you were doing before the Superdome? You've been with the Dome for like 25, 30 years, huh?
It's been 26 years here for me, and almost 6 years at the Sports Foundation prior to that. So I was doing events in the building while I was at the Sports Foundation. We did a number of events at that particular time, and then that led me to the position that I have today.
It's almost like radio and television. Sometimes I'd walk over to the station. There'd be a new sign out front with a new ownership. It's ASM now. It was, a lot of different companies over the last 26 years, right?
Yeah, it started out actually as Hyatt Management Corporation back in the day in 1977. That was basically the genesis of private facility management as we know it today. The Superdome was a forerunner in so many ways back in those days. And then, of course, Hyatt Management Corporation evolved into SMG, which was Spectacor Management Group. And SMG was then sold to a private equity firm, changed the name to ASM, and we merged with AEG, the big live content provider that's out there, the owners of the O2 Arena, what used to be the Staples Center in LA, now called Crypto.com Arena. So AEG is part owner of ASM. So much bigger company, but has its roots right here in New Orleans.
Boy, thank goodness for Dave Dixon, John McKithen. Hard to imagine New Orleans without a Superdome.
Absolutely. I think back, I had a great relationship with Dave Dixon and many of the other individuals who were around at that time, and I've heard some of the stories. Jimmy Fitzmaurice used to tell me some of those stories. He was lieutenant governor back in the day and actually worked for Kansas City Southern Railroad. If you remember, Kansas City Southern Railroad was the entity that sold the land to the state to enable the Superdome to be built on the location that it's positioned in now. And back in the day, Governor Fitzmaurice was telling me that there was a lot of chatter about putting the Superdome somewhere between here and Slidell out of New Orleans East.
Yep.
And there was a move afoot to do that, and it was right at the last minute that KCS sold the land. Jimmy Fitzmaurice used to tell the story. He went up with the president of KCS to see Governor John McKithen, and they actually had a martini at the governor's mansion. And over a martini, I guess the state agreed to purchase the land for the Superdome, and the rest is history, as they say.
Yeah, that the New Orleans East plan was sort of like Kansas City. That now it's two stadiums out in KC, one for the Royals, one for the Chiefs, but they're kind of out on the interstate. I think it's I-70 sort of away from downtown. So yeah, the east thing was a big possibility, but then the natural infrastructure coming from all different directions, anchoring Poydras, this new widened Poydras in the CBD. It was really genius to put it exactly where it is, Doug.
Well, think about it, Corey, and I've reflected on this over the years, and I love hearing the stories from people like Moon Landrieu and Harold Udell, who was the first bond counsel, that was the architect of the bonds that were sold back in the day. I've heard a lot of these stories, but think about this location and what it means to the city. When this building was placed in the location that it's in today, it put New Orleans on the map for what we call sports tourism. The minute the pilings were being drilled into on the site, I'm told that the Marriott Hotel was being built, the Hilton was being built at that time, the Hyatt was under construction. So it stimulated an economy that we didn't have before. So New Orleans was being cast into the forefront of the sports and leisure market, if you will, which was emerging back then. At the time, it was the second dome stadium, the Astrodome being the first. The Superdome is 2 million square feet. The old Astrodome was about 1 million square feet, so it was double the size. But the location on Poydras Street helped basically create the corridor that we have now. That when you enter the city, all the high-rise buildings that are here stimulated, tourism for our city. And now what we have with the Superdome being anchored on one end of town and the convention center being a little less than a mile away on the other end, and then, of course, the French Quarter about a mile away, we call it the Golden Triangle. Those three demand generators, those are demand generators, meaning they create demand for people to come to the city. People come to have great entertainment in the French Quarter, food, drinks, the things that we do, Mardi Gras, the celebrations. They come to the convention center to hold their conferences, and they come here for their sporting events. Think about that Golden Triangle and the walkable aspects of this city. If the Superdome had not been located here, none of that would have happened. So the economic stimulus that this building has generated year over year, and it's still going. It's got a long life. We're in the middle of a $450 million renovation right now. We're 2 years into it. Be 2 more years before we complete it, but it's going to extend the useful life. But the location is the key. There are over 25,000 hotel rooms within a short walk away. Not many cities have that. That's what gives us an advantage. So anyway, it was genius to put it here. There were a lot of people who made a lot of sacrifices. There were a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to put it in this location. It was not an easy thing to build it at the time. It was very controversial. But look at how it's paid off for the city.
You just mentioned it. By the way, Doug Thornton's with us, Executive Vice President of ASM Global. The Superdome turning 47 years old today. You just mentioned, Doug, what it did for downtown New Orleans, creating that whole area, anchoring that entire area. Directly, it's the Saints, it's Super Bowls, it's Final Fours, it's the Rolling Stones, it's the Pope, it's Muhammad Ali, it's Sugar Ray Leonard. It's been some pretty amazing events, Republican National Convention, some pretty amazing events. And you guys just keep reinventing the building. So many buildings have come and gone. The Superdome gets a few $100 million here, a few $100 million there, over a decade here, a decade there, and kaboom, it's right back up to pretty much state of the art.
What's funny is I was reading an article the other day. We're still in the top 10 in terms of stadiums out in the country and how we're viewed in the public in terms of the quality of the stadium. And what you just said is so true. We've been able to reinvent the building year over year. Now, after Katrina, it was practically destroyed, and we put it back together, and that was a chance for us to make it better. We made some improvements. Thankfully, we had support from the federal government through FEMA to do that. Most of that was paid for by the federal government. But these buildings have typically a 30-year life cycle. What I mean by that is the pieces and parts, all the furnishings, the equipment, it has a useful life of anywhere from 15 to 30 years.
Georgia Dome, I think, was like 1991, 92. The Georgia Dome doesn't even exist anymore.
Doesn't even exist anymore. So what happens is if you don't reinvest by year 15, year 20, and you don't replace those pieces and parts or do architectural changes like we've done here, you cannot stay modern. So in our case, this building has great bones, and we've had the opportunity to change the architectural interiors and at the same time replace the equipment. So that is what has been able to keep this building going at the forefront. Many other stadiums haven't had that opportunity because of square footage limitations. All of the dome stadiums of the past, the King Dome in Seattle, the one in Detroit, the one in Indianapolis, they were all 1 million square feet. We've got 2 million square feet to work with here. So you can change the architectural features inside that square footage, inside the skin of the building, if you will. Now, there are certain things that we can't change.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, it's a lot cheaper to renovate it than it is to build a new stadium on this site, because this is the best location.
Oh, yeah.
And that was the determination that the leadership made back in 2018 when we embarked upon the renovation that we're going through now. We had to plan that several years in advance, so we started thinking about it actually in 2016 and 17, knowing that this building would, be approaching its second 30-year life cycle, if you will.
Right.
And we needed to do something to keep it modern, or we're going to have to replace it just because of the demands of the market, right? We know that there are $2 and $3 billion stadiums being built. There was one built in LA, $3.5 billion.
Yep.
SoFi Stadium, Allegiant in Las Vegas, $2.6 billion. Tennessee is getting ready to build a new stadium, $2.7 billion. So all of these, look at what's going on in Chicago right now with Soldier Field. The Bears are looking to move out to Arlington, which is a suburb of Chicago. They want to build a $3 billion stadium complex there.
Wow.
And Soldier Field is an outdoor stadium, of course, much older than the Superdome, been renovated, but there are some limitations there because of the colonnades and the architecture that surround the interior shell. So we're very fortunate to have the infrastructure that we have, and I always take my hat off and admire the people who were the early founders of the Superdome: John McKiffin, Dave Dixon, Arthur Davis, the architect, Moon Landrieu, who was mayor at the time. I mentioned Jimmy Fitzmaurice, Harold Udell. All of those people were so instrumental in creating what we have today, which is the footprint with which we have to work.
Doug Thornton, always a pleasure. Thanks so much for joining us. Happy birthday, Superdome.
Thank you, Corey. Good to speak with you. Take care.
That's Doug Thornton joining us. The Superdome's 47 years old today. Listen with you. Coming right back.
Kanye West was seen shopping at Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
I am Shakespeare in the flesh. Walt Disney, Nike, Google.
Okay, I think Kanye was talking about something else entirely. Super Discount Store on Paris Road in Chalmette.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Enjoy outdoor dining on the streetcar line, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, the finest in Middle Eastern cuisine, Carrollton at Jeanette, Lebanon's Cafe.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Did you know Rouse's sells only Angus beef? Angus beef's natural marbling means more succulence and flavor. Whether you choose Rouse's USDA Prime, Choice, or Select, it'll be only Angus beef when you get it at Rouse's. Tastes like home.
Yeah, you right. A wide open Wednesday edition of the program where you're the show producer. Whatever you'd like to discuss. Wide Open Wednesday. Rouse's Markets phone lines 504-766-9480. 504-766-9480. Doug Thornton just joining us from the Superdome. Superdome's 47 years old today. Doug Thornton basically just confirming what I was opening up the program about, what the Superdome has meant for New Orleans. The buildings that have been built, you know, in and around the Superdome's era. It's insane. From 1972 to 1984, 25 plus buildings. Our modern, well, it's 40 years old, our modern skyline. I mean, in the mid to late 80s, New Orleans had one of America's best skylines. New, modern glass buildings, unique, Superdome anchoring it, the two Mississippi River bridges. Pretty heady times. You know, I've mentioned in 1970, New Orleans had about 1 million people in the metro area. By 1980, we had 1.3 million. We grew by like 30%, from 1 million to 1.3 million in a decade. Huge growth. That basically is what Houston, Dallas, Atlanta has experienced in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and what Nashville, Charlotte, Austin have been experiencing the last 20, 30 years. I always talk about how we didn't miss the boat, we missed the rocket ship. In the 70s, we were on the rocket ship. The envy of the country. From 72 to 84, about 25 modern high-rise buildings built. All of them 250 plus feet, like all of them 20 plus stories, not little buildings, every one 20 plus stories. 1972, you had One Shell Square celebrating 50 years a week ago, and the Marriott. So you had One Shell Square and the Marriott in 1972. The Dome was being constructed that whole time, just this steel frame coming up right there on the Pontchartrain Expressway I-10 corner. In 76, the Hyatt Regency was finished, complementing the Dome, connected to the Dome. In 1977, the Riverside Hilton and its 1,700 rooms. The Amico building, another building near the Hyatt around the Dome. In 79, it was the Mobile building, 1250 Poydras, another building around the Dome, an oil and gas building. One Canal Place opened at the foot of Canal Street. In 1980, Pan American Life Center across the street from One Shell Square. In 1981, down the block, the Chevron building. In 82, I should say in 83, the Texaco Center. I call that building Darth Vader, that black building with the sharp edge chopped off. Kind of goes to a point on Poydras, the Texaco Center. The Westin Canal Place, the hotel at Canal Place. The Entergy Tower on Loyola. We call it Entergy Tower, but it was One Poydras Plaza. Poydras Center, that modern building that wraps around the historic building on Poydras, the backside of it's Lafayette Square. 1984 was huge for New Orleans. Place St. Charles, the tallest building in the city, eclipsing One Shell Square in height. The Energy Center, with its jagged top, right there on the corner of Poydras and Loyola. The SW Marriott, that hotel that's sort of set off Canal Street. Those trio of buildings opened in 1984 across from the Dome on Poydras. 1515 Poydras, the Freeport McMoran building, and 1555 Poydras. The Meridian Hotel opened, and the Windsor Court Hotel opened. That's 25 major buildings in New Orleans. I missed the Sheraton in 1982. I apologize. One Shell Square, Marriott, Superdome, Hyatt Regency, Riverside Hilton, Amico Building, Mobile Building, One Canal Place, Pan Am Life, Chevron Building, Sheraton Hotel, Texaco Center, Weston Canal Place, One Poydras Plaza, Poydras Center, Place St. Charles, Energy Center, JW Marriott, 1515 Poydras, Freeport McMoran, 1555 Poydras, Meridian Hotel, Windsor Court Hotel. That's all from 72 to 84, 13 years, 25 buildings, probably about 5 million square feet of office space, modern grade A office space, about 6,500 hotel rooms. A few years later, LL&E opened on Poydras in 87, in 89, C&G Tower, then Dominion Tower, now Benson Tower. That's like the bulk of our downtown. No, the widening of Poydras, the Superdome anchoring it, changed New Orleans forever. The problem, I talk about this 72 to 84 building boom. The oil and gas industry, that's right about when it bottomed out, 83, 84. We've pretty much been on a 40-year downward spiral. The Dome's 47 years old. Thank goodness for visionary Dave Dixon. Hey, the Astrodome had AstroTurf. Astrodome originally had grass. They had clear glass panels. They were growing grass. There was no artificial surface even thought about. And then the Astros had trouble, and their opposition had trouble seeing fly balls when the sun was reflecting in the wrong direction through the glass. It'd be a bright spot, and they couldn't see fly balls. So they started blacking out certain panels. Then they blacked out more and more panels. Then the grass died. And then they were like, oh, no. And then they ran to the Monsanto company, and they came up with the fake grass known as AstroTurf. What was the Monsanto fake grass in the Superdome known as? It wasn't, it was a form of AstroTurf, but it had a different name. It was a Monsanto product. Astrodome, AstroTurf. Superdome, what turf? What was the name of the turf? Give me the answer to that. I got a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate for you. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. 504-766-9480. What was the Superdome turf known as back in 75? Superdome's 47 years old today. No, just such a huge part of New Orleans. No Saints without the Superdome. No CBD that you see today without the Superdome. Maybe a whole lot less of New Orleans without the Superdome. Corey Johnson with you on a wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Latram's been with you since 1949 when J.M. LaPere invented the shrimp peeling machine. That is still the industry standard. They've tweaked it. They've made it better. The technology's improved. But the shrimp peeling machine from Latrim still number one in the world. That led to something even bigger, the all-plastic modular conveyor belts, Intralocks conveyor belts, all part of Latrim, a culture of innovation, and Latrim is hiring. At their Elmwood facility, that means you East Bankers and West Bankers. Latrim's got you covered under the UEP Long Bridge on Latrim Lane, their 80-acre campus that continues to grow. And they're on the North Shore. Their Hammond facility is hiring. Latrim.com, Latrim spelled L-A-I-T-R-A-M, Latrim.com. Dozens and dozens and dozens of jobs on that website, Latrim.com. A lot going on besides the Superdome turning 47. If you missed the beginning of the program, Doug Thornton from the Dome joined us to talk about that. At least 30 car windows broken in the French Quarter. 30. Losers going through French Quarter parking lots and smashing windows and trying to grab whatever they can out of the car. Outdoor post office boxes have been getting broken into and raided. That was just off limits. That's a federal offense. You might get arrested by NOPD or JP or Kenner Police or Gretna Police if they catch you, but it's a federal offense. A lot harsher sentencing, no parole. That's just one of those things in the olden days that was clearly off limits. Clearly off limits. You just messing with the mail, that was just like a super no-no. These brazen criminals don't care. The Dowman Center, better not get your lottery tickets over there. Fong Kwok won 10 grand. Fong Kwok won 10 grand purchasing a lottery ticket from the Dowman Center. But then owner Riyad Al-Hindi said, it's only a $3 winner. And then about a month later, he tried to cash in her ticket, but she signed the back of it. He had scratched her name out and put his name on it. Anyway, he's going to go to jail. He's got 4 convenience stores. Probably not anymore for Riyad Al-Hindi, 31 years old, trying to steal Fong Kwok's $10,000. That's what it boils down to. Trying to steal 10 grand from Fong Kwok. Corey Johnson with you.
Rouse's Markets means convenience. Every one of our 65 locations opens at 7 a.m., some at 6:30, and they're open until 10 p.m., with some staying open till 11 or even midnight. Convenience. Rouse's Markets. Tastes like home.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Come to Fausto's Italian Bistro. Age-old Italian recipes like the calamari fritti or spaghetti and meatballs. Lunch Monday to Friday, dinner Monday to Saturday. 530 Vets, a block before Dorignax. Fausto's Italian Bistro.
Louisiana is unique. The food, the festivals, even the bugs. No, not mud bugs. Unwanted bugs like these. The ones you don't want crawling in your home or business. Trust the Shield from J&J Exterminating. We've been protecting Louisiana homes for over 50 years, earning the trust of our clients because we deliver what we promise. Protect your home from pests. Get the Shield from J&J Exterminating.
J&J Exterminating. Yeah. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latram.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
If you love Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City, you're going to love Bienvenue in Harahan. The same folks bringing a little of that New Orleans flavor to Hickory Avenue. If you love Katie's, come to Bienvenue on Hickory Avenue in Harahan.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Have a painting project but can't decide on the perfect color? At Helm Paint and Decorating, we offer half-pint paint samples in any Benjamin Moore color for under $5, so you can test potential paint colors before investing in a full gallon.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Recently, Kim Kardashian was seen at Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
Let's party.
Can you think of any other celebrities that won't sue us? Super Discount Store in Chalmette. The lowest prices allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and cold beer. 3235 Paris Road.
Which Metro New Orleans area restaurant made CNN's top 50 in America and ThrillList.com's top 25 and has served presidents at the White House for over 40 years? Trey Yen in Mandeville.
The city's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa with 4 area locations: New Orleans, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and Metairie. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. NOLA.woodhousespas.com.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. We call it Wide Open Wednesday because it's wide open. You're the show producer. Whatever you'd like to discuss. Rouse's Markets phone lines 504-766-9480. 504-766-9480. Monsanto called the artificial grass at the Astrodome AstroTurf. What did Monsanto call the artificial turf at the Superdome in 1975? A little play on words. Hint, hint. Give me the answer, and I got a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate for you. Hey, no cheating, no intranet device. You either know the answer or you don't. No Google, Yahoo, Bing, DuckDuckGo, none of that. Rouse's Markets phone lines on this wide open Wednesday, 766-9480. 766-9480. Hey, Fong Kwok, who won 10 grand buying a lotto ticket at the Dowman Center in the East. Owner Riyad Al-Hindi tried to steal the ticket from Fong Kwok, told her it was a $3 winner, gave her $3 for the ticket. And then like a month later, little sneaky devil tried to go cash it for 10 grand at the lottery office and got popped. Anyway, Riyad Al-Hindi is going to go to jail. And Fong Kwok got her 10 G's. Congratulations, Fong Kwok. I'd like to tighten you up with a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate. So, Fong, if you're listening or someone knows Fong Kwok, call the program. We'll tighten you up. You can give it to her. She deserves it. The least we can do. And Al-Hindi, geez and Pete, dude, you weren't just stealing a lottery ticket. You were stealing $10,000. And you own 4 convenience stores. I hope you got family, friends that can run them because you're going to jail. Crazy. Speaking of crazy, at least 30 car windows broken in the French Quarter, 30. That cannot happen. That cannot happen. I hate to say it. In New Orleans, there needs to be a priority of what needs to be protected most. You got to hit The French Quarter and the CBD and the Warehouse District, those need to be protected. Places that have insanely high violent crime, 7th, 8th, 9th Ward, they need an influx of police. I mean, these are the numbers. You don't spread them out equally. Everybody's got to be on the same page, too. But 30 car windows broken in the French Quarter. You break the French Quarter, that's the pearl and the oyster. You kill the oyster, you kill everything. Outdoor post office boxes getting raided and checks stolen and cashed. Just nothing is off limits in 2022. Drag grandma in the carjacking, take her arm off, kill her, doesn't matter. Nothing's off limit. Children getting shot, little babies getting shot, grandmas getting mugged. Nothing is off limits in New Orleans. It's crazy. Oh, boy. Freddie in the East emailing us at Corey Talks. Kaare, Corey at Corey Talks. No, Freddie in the East. Wow. I said AstroTurf for the artificial turf for the Astros at the Astrodome. What's the Superdome's turf called? Super Turf. That's incorrect. It's not called Super Turf. Geesh. Come on, Freddie in the East. Rouse's Markets phone lines 504-766-9480. Superdome was almost headed to the East. 504-766-9480. 504-766-9480. Best dry cleaner in the city, Young's Dry Cleaning. You looking for the best? Young's Dry Cleaning. You tired of your dry cleaner? Young's Dry Cleaning. Walk-up locations, free pickup and delivery, and dozens and dozens and dozens of manless locker locations all over the city. Maybe near where you work or live and you didn't even know. YoungsDryCleaning.com to find out more. YoungsDryCleaning.com. Yeah, you right. Wide Open Wednesday, where you're the show producer. Let's head to the phone lines. Cindy joins us in New Orleans. How you doing, Cindy?
Oh, hi. I'm fine, thank you. I'm just trying to hear you better. Yes, I wanted to say that I heard a rumor that the police force is probably going to get to the point of hardly, not enough as it is now, but worse, because I heard that the feds may be trying to start a federal police force as opposed to a local one.
Well, there is that consent decree. So even though it is a local force, it is highly restricted with a lot of federal regulations and restrictions on what the police can and cannot do down here. No, Cindy, it's hemorrhaging. It's been hemorrhaging for a while. It started with Mitch Landrieu defunding the police, getting rid of Ronald Surpass like a decade ago, and it's been on a steady decline. And we're talking about maybe in a year you get 10 or 12 new recruits, totally young green cops. Thank goodness for them, but they're green, they're inexperienced. And we're losing like 75, 80 veteran experienced police. So it's just unsustainable. I don't know how they're going to turn this around, Cindy, because we're losing about, 60, 70, 80 cops a year net. And we're probably under 1,000, which means they're probably just a few hundred that are actually out on the street. You probably need about 1,500, close to 1,000 out on the street. So, yeah, major problems.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if they start a federal, it's just a possibility, and because LaToya, we were the third state in the whole country to have to ask for proof of vaccines, which would have never happened 15 years ago. So it'll just be interesting to see if the feds.
Cindy, thanks. I don't mean to cut you off. I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm heading to the top of the hour. Cindy, thanks so much. Hey, Meg, James, we're coming to you next. Don't go anywhere. 5 o'clock powwow next.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Where can you find shish kebab in New Orleans? Lamb, beef, chicken, shrimp, plus all your other Mediterranean favorites. Lebanon's Cafe on the streetcar line. Lunch, dinner, and shish kebab. Lebanon's Cafe.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarms. With smart home technology, control lights, locks, cameras, thermostat, and your alarm, all from your phone or laptop. Smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them.
When you think of Fury's Restaurant in Metairie, you think about their daily lunch specials like red beans and rice, black-eyed peas, white butter beans, liver and onions. Daily lunch specials. Fury's Restaurant in Metairie.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
The Port of New Orleans Napoleon Terminal is nearly doubling in size, with 4 new gantry cranes being installed and over $100 million being invested. That means lots of new jobs, port traffic, and tax dollars for the city. The Port of New Orleans, your port.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us steer you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Louisiana is unique. The food, the festivals, even the bugs. No, not mud bugs. Unwanted bugs like these. The ones you don't want crawling in your home or business. Trust the Shield from J&J Exterminating. We've been protecting Louisiana homes for over 50 years, earning the trust of our clients because we deliver what we promise. Protect your home from pests. Get the Shield from J&J Exterminating.
J&J Exterminating. Yeah.
On November 13th, Felix Unger was asked to remove himself from his place of residence. That request came from his wife. Deep down, he knew she was right, but he also knew that someday he would return to her. With nowhere else to go, he appeared at the home of his friend Oscar Madison. Several years earlier,
you right,
Madison's wife had
Crescent
thrown him
City
out,
and
requesting
beyond.
that he never return. Can
Coming
two
up
divorced
next,
men
The Odd
share
Couple.
apartments
Neutral
without
Ground with
driving
Corey
each other
Johnson.
crazy?
Canceled. All right, just joking. You can check out The Odd Couple like on YouTube or Nick at Night or something like that. Does Nick at Night even exist? YouTube does. It's been rocking and rolling for like 20 plus years, I think. YouTube's been around a while. We're on YouTube Live right now. And you can check out yesterday's program, last week, last month. You can check out last hour where Doug Thornton joined us. Why did we have Doug Thornton on from the Superdome? He's been running that place for about 26 years because the Superdome is 47 years old today. And it's such an iconic building, and it's so much more than that. No Superdome, no Saints. No Superdome, no modern skyline in New Orleans. From 1972 to 1984, that 13-year period, 72 to 84, about 25 major high-rise buildings built in downtown New Orleans, like 5,000, 6,000 or 5 or 6 million square feet of office space, about 65, maybe 6,500, 7,000 hotel rooms. From 1972 to 1984, about 25 high-rise buildings built. The modern downtown of New Orleans, the CBD. 1972, One Shell Square and the Marriott Hotel. In 1975, it was the Superdome. In 76, the Hyatt Regency. In 1977, the Riverside Hilton and the Amoco Building. The Amoco Building built by the Hyatt. In 79, it was the Mobile Building built by the Hyatt Regency by the Dome. One Canal Place opened in 1979. 1980, Pan American Life Center across the street from One Shell Square. 1981, the Chevron Building. 1982, the Sheraton Hotel. 1983, Texaco Center, the Weston Canal Place, Entergy Tower or One Poydras Plaza, Poydras Center, that modern building that wraps around the historic building on Poydras with Lafayette Square behind it. 1984 was a huge year in New Orleans. 1984, Place St. Charles, Energy Center, JW Marriott. Those three buildings across from the Dome, 1515 Poydras, Freeport McMoran Building, and the 1555 Poydras Building. The Meridian Hotel, the Windsor Court Hotel. 25 plus buildings from 1972 to 1984 in New Orleans. All 250 plus feet, all of them 20 plus stories. 10 of them were 300 plus feet. 6 of them were 400 plus feet. You had one 500 plus feet, a couple 600 plus feet with One Shell Square in 1972, Place St. Charles 1984. 13 years. A couple of dozen major high-rise buildings making up the modern CBD downtown of New Orleans. Energy buildings, oil and gas buildings, One Shell Square, Amoco Building, Mobile, Chevron, Texaco, Freeport McMoran, C&G Tower, LL&E. Wow. Corey Johnson with you. Let's hit the phone lines on this wide open Wednesday. Happy birthday, Superdome. MG joins us in not so chilly Gentilly. What up, MG?
Hey, just wanted to take a guess on the Superdome turf question.
It's not called Super Turf, MG.
I'm thinking it's called swamp turf.
Swamp turf. That's terrible, MG.
Oh,
did you just make that up? Did you just make that up?
Yes, I did.
All right. Well, I like the effort. You got a girlfriend, wife, significant other?
I have a lovely wife.
How long you been married, MG?
Oh, about 19 years.
Wow, man. That's a good length of time. I'm going to tighten you up with a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate for the swamp turf. Terrible answer.
Oh, Lord. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so kindly.
Boy, MG, Gentilly, that neighborhood is just taken off, huh?
Yeah, man, it's really bad. It's really, really bad.
Oh no, I mean in a good way. A lot of folks moving into the neighborhood. A lot of money coming into that neighborhood. I thought no, crime. I bet is taking off because of crime in New Orleans in general, and Gentilly in some parts it's sort of marginal. But boy, I just think Gentilly. A lot of folks are investing in that area.
Well, they are, but to tell you quite honestly, there's guys that's building a house on my block, and as they're building the house, armed robbers came and robbed them like a week ago. While he was installing windows.
These construction folks are having to lock down their truck. It's like the post office box theft, things that you never think would happen. Construction workers, folks walk by, steal their stuff off the truck, drive up, raid the truck, and drive off before the guy can run down from the second floor of the building. It's done in seconds. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. They got to lock it all up, slows down the job, makes it more time-consuming, pain in their rear end. They'd rather go to another city where they don't have to worry about that.
Yep. They do have some good things, but, the little bad things kind of knocks everything out,
No, you're right. That's what makes New Orleans hard to live in right now. Even like a place like Gentilly with a lot of positives happening, you still have these major New Orleans negatives that knock you down, no doubt. MG, hang on, all right?
All right, Corey. Thank you.
Yeah, you're right. Thanks for calling. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. MG and Gentilly's going to the Woodhouse. James joins us on the Best Bank. What up, James?
What's going on?
Where are you calling from on Dar Best Bank?
On the West Bank?
I know, like where? Algiers, Harvey, Avondale, Gretna.
West we go.
West we go. Yeah, you're right. What's on your mind, James? You got to lower that TV or radio for me, though. I can't stand that host
I'm watching
voice.
in the break room at work, so
I hear you.
I gotta kind of get back. Mardi Gras. That's what they call it.
Mardi Gras. Come on, James. That's ridiculous.
Mardi Gras.
Come on. That's really your answer?
Yep.
We just had swamp turf. Now you're going with Mardi Gras?
Mardi Gras.
You are correct.
Yeah, you right. Ding, ding. What do we have for her, Johnny?
Got a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate for you, James. Yeah, Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras.
All right. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're right. How you remember that one?
My brother told me.
Nice. Excellent. Excellent. Good job, James's brother. All right, James, hang on. All right, don't go anywhere. James on the Best Bank. West we go. That's how they came up with that one. West we go. We're heading in a westward direction. Got a lot of things like that in New Orleans. Lapalco, Louisiana Power and Light Company. That's how they came up with that one. Norco, New Orleans Refinery Company. West we go. Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson with you on a wide open Wednesday. Rouse's Markets phone lines 504-766-9480. 504-766-9480. 5 o'clock power hour on this Wednesday, brought to you by Rouse's Markets. Over 60 Rouse's locations. They've been at it for over 60 years. Man, there's so many towns and cities where it's the grocery store. There are 6 Rouse's in Metro Mobile, Alabama. There are 9 Rouse's in Metro Baton Rouge. Lake Charles has 3 Rouse's. Lafayette has 3 Rouse's. 4 in Houma, 3 in Thibodaux. That's Rouse's country down there. There are over 20 Rouses in Metro New Orleans, 7 Rouses in Orleans proper. Kenner, Metairie, Marrera, Gretna, got you covered. Hammond, a few Rouses. Covington has 3 Rouses. Mandeville's got 2. Slidell's got a couple of Rouses. There's a Rouses in your neighborhood or near your neighborhood. Truly, New Orleans and South Louisiana, Southern Mississippi, Southern Alabama's grocery store. Best quality, best price, best selection. Truly tastes like home. Rouses Markets. Corey Johnson with you on a wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Yeah, you right. So much going on, including the Superdome turning 47 years old today. And the Superdome has meant so much for the city of New Orleans. No Saints without the Dome, no modern central business district downtown without the Superdome. I don't know where New Orleans would be without the Superdome. It's a scary thought. Happy birthday, Louisiana Superdome, 47 years ago today. Corey Johnson with you. It's a wide open Wednesday edition of the show.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
The Port of New Orleans Napoleon Terminal is nearly doubling in size, with 4 new gantry cranes being installed and over $100 million being invested. That means lots of new jobs, port traffic, and tax dollars for the city. The Port of New Orleans, your port.
River Cities, total maintenance keeps you cool. River Cities, total maintenance keeps you cool. River Cities, total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River Cities, total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Interlocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Interlocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Interlocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Louisiana is unique. The food, the festivals, even the bugs. No, not mud bugs. Unwanted bugs like these. The ones you don't want crawling in your home or business. Trust the Shield from J&J Exterminating. We've been protecting Louisiana homes for over 50 years, earning the trust of our clients because we deliver what we promise. Protect your home from pests. Get the Shield from J&J Exterminating.
J&J Exterminating. Yeah.
Super discount store in Chalmette.
3235 Paris Road.
The lowest price allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and beer.
Worth the drive from anywhere.
If you're throwing a party and need wine, alcohol, and cold beer, super discount store in Chalmette.
The city's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa with 4 area locations: New Orleans, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and Metairie. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. NOLA.woodhousespas.com.
Come to Fausto's Italian Bistro. Age-old Italian recipes like the calamari fritti or spaghetti and meatballs. Lunch Monday to Friday, dinner Monday to Saturday. 530 Vets, a block before Dorignax. Fausto's Italian Bistro. For over 30 years, one of the premier security companies in New Orleans and South Louisiana has been Tommy's Lock and Alarms. And right now, Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring. Come and work for one of the best security companies in the region with great pay, great benefits, and a take-home vehicle. Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring, and they're looking for you. To apply for one of these coveted positions, go online to tommyslockанdalarms.com. Tommy's Lock and Alarms.
Yeah, you right. One thing you don't want to mess with, the Hellfire R9X. The Hellfire R9X, part of the United States arsenal, apparently. That's how we killed al-Zawahiri, the al-Qaida leader. Al-Zawahiri was on a balcony. His family was in the same building on the other side of the building. We killed him and no one else. Because of the Hellfire R9X has no explosives. They fly a drone up there, a manless drone carrying the Hellfire R9X. They launch it, and this missile with no explosives on it powers its way towards the target. And I'm assuming that with no explosives, it pretty much would take out the target all by itself. Like it's that accurate. This cat, al-Zawahiri, was on a balcony. But as the thing approaches its target, I guess a few hundred yards out, moving at hundreds of miles an hour, these huge blades come out of the front. Huge blades, like knives, big blades, and they start spinning like a fan. So all of a sudden, whatever the diameter of those blades are, I'm assuming they're several feet long, not like 3 feet long, but I'm guessing, 10, 12, 15 feet. You got some 20-foot, 25-foot diameter or something, I'm guessing, and you got this fan spinning blade missile coming at you with no explosives. So that guy just got chewed up. Just something hundreds of miles an hour with a fan spinning just splattered that cat. Corey Johnson with you. Yeah, don't mess with the Hellfire R9X. Wow. No explosives. A big spinning blade on the front of the missile that just chews up its target. That's how they killed him on the balcony, and his family, wife, and kids were in the back of the same building, not affected. I guess it's like, some kind of, be like a big boulder or something fired into the side of the building. Some kind of projectile with no explosive. It could take out the balcony, take out part of the building. I'm sure it caused major damage to the building, but took out the target as it was supposed to. Wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Corey Johnson with you. Rouse's Markets phone lines are open. 504-766-9480. 504-766-9480. Yeah, the Superdome turf was known as Mardi Gras when it opened in 1975. Hey, how many acres is the Superdome roof? How many acres is the Superdome roof? Give me the answer to that. I got a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate for you. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. The dome is so massive that you can measure the roof in acres. The floor of the dome itself, the floor, in between plaza seat, end zone to end zone, sideline to sideline, seats pushed back, the floor of the dome, nearly 4 acres, almost 4 acres, the floor. The spot that the dome sits on, all around Dave Dixon Drive, the Fox, or I should say John McKithen Sports Complex, sans the arena, without the arena, just the Superdome footprint. 52 acres, 52 acres, massive, giganticus, right in the middle of the CBD on Poydras, a newly widened Poydras. with a median down the middle. They took down a whole row of buildings to widen Poydras. And then Poydras became the center from the dome to the river, about a mile-long stretch. One Shell Square, the Marriott, the Superdome, the Hyatt Regency, the Riverside Hilton, Amico Building, Mobile Building, One Canal Place, Pan American Life, Chevron Building, the Sheraton, Texaco Center, Weston Canal Place, One Poydras Plaza, Poydras Center, Place St. Charles, Energy Center, JW Marriott, Windsor Court, Meridian Hotel, 1550 Poydras, Freeport McMoran, 1555 Poydras. That's over 25 buildings, all over 250 feet, all 20 plus stories, all built from the ground up, brand new, all in 13 years, 25. A few years later, 1987, you can add LL&E, 909 Poydras to the slate. And then 1989, what is now known as Benson Tower, originally CNG, Consolidated Natural Gas, Dominion Tower after that. That's a lot of the CBD. That's 6 million, 6.5, 7 million square feet of office space, 6,500, maybe 7,000 hotel rooms. 1972 to 1984, about 25 high-rise buildings, all north of 20 stories, all brand new. 25, a couple of dozen built in 13 years. The heady times of the 70s going into the early 80s. New Orleans in 1970, 1 million people in the metro. New Orleans in 1980, 1.3 million, grew by 300,000 folks, by 30%. In the 70s, in one decade. Growth that you see like in Houston, Dallas, Atlanta, now in Austin and Nashville. No, we had it going for a while in the 70s, and the Superdome anchored it all. The Superdome got us the Saints. The Superdome got us the CBD, the modern, skyline, contributed to the economy directly and indirectly. An amazing, iconic building, 47 years old today. Happy birthday, Superdome. Corey Johnson with you. Wide open Wednesday edition of the program. How many acres is the Superdome roof? Give me the answer to that. I got a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate for you. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. 766-9480. At least 30 car windows in the French Quarter broken. Glass everywhere. Loser criminals shuffling through cars. At least 30 car windows broken in the French Quarter. Just can't have that. The French Quarter's got to be absurdly safe, like the safest place in the city. One of the safest places in the country. That's what the French Quarter needs to be known as. But who am I kidding? Bourbon Street is a toilet. It's filthy. That needs to be reimagined. French Quarter safety and security needs to be reimagined. Outdoor post office boxes are being looted. East Bank, West Bank, North Shore, St. Tammany Parish is having this problem. Nothing is off limits anymore. No criminals messed with the post office, stealing mail, breaking into post office boxes because it was a federal crime. No parole. Much tougher penalties. No one messed with the mail. Now it's carjack some old lady, an elderly woman, and, drag her body and rip her arm off and kill her. Just, there's no rules anymore. Just ruthless criminals. From murdering elderly women in a carjacking to stealing mail out of the mailbox, out of the blue mailboxes. Just was unheard of. You never mess with those. You didn't, hey, we're going to pull a prank, drop some water in there, spray paint, whatever. It's all vandalism. It's all federal crime. No one messed with the mail. No one. Hey, if you wear prescription glasses like me, or you like wearing glasses as like a style statement, maybe you need a great pair of sunglasses, prescription or not. Art and Eyes on Magazine. There is no other eyewear shop in New Orleans. Everything else is part of a chain selling Chinese garbage. And all the name brands you may know and think you love, like Ray-Ban and Oakley, I mean, you name the name brand, they're probably owned by Luxottica, made in China, garbage. Worse, everyone's got the glasses you have. If you're looking for 2 pairs of glasses for $79, Art and Eyes is not for you. But they've got price points for everybody, and it's the highest quality eyewear you'll find anywhere. From world-class designers you've never heard of. But when you pick up, touch, see, feel, you can see the craftsmanship, the quality right away, and the style. You're going to get compliments on your glasses. You're going to love your glasses. They've been at it 10 years. I discovered them only a year ago. I don't know what I was thinking. Art and Eyes on Magazine. They're on the riverside of Magazine, in between Napoleon and Louisiana. Art and Eyes. Google them. Their website's Art and Eyes New Orleans, LA.com. Kind of a mouthful. Art and Eyes New Orleans, LA.com. No, get eyewear as unique as you, not something everyone else has. I'll never bump into someone wearing these. Never. Never. Because they're 47 of 450 made in the world. 47 of 450 made in the world. I think my sunglasses, there are only 300 of those in the world. Art and Eyes on Magazine. Superdome's 47 years old today. I got an email. You can email us, Corey@CoreyTalks.com. I always say it's what the email's talking about. Producing tomorrow's radio shows. Today, someone's taking a topic from you from a month ago. So bad it's good, even using that line about the movie Roadhouse. So apparently some talk show is doing that. I don't know. Roadhouse is so bad it's so good. And there's actually, like, I forgot, some university has a class that they studied the movie. I love the line. I mean, it's amazing. Your boy Swayze's just sitting at the bar. And the blonde chick who's like part of the antagonist crew, she's sexy. She walks up to the bar, and there's just this drunk dude at the bar. You familiar with this movie, Jason? And the blonde tells the bartender, vodka on the rocks. Vodka rocks, I think is what she says. Vodka rocks. And then the drunk dude looks at her and goes, hey, vodka rocks. Why don't we get nipple to nipple? That's what he says. So I'm just wondering, was like that line written before that was part of the original screenplay? That line was scripted and written. Someone came up with that line on the go, like on the fly. They just went with it. Someone thought that was a good line. Someone thought that's an actual line someone would use as a pickup line. I just don't know how that line got the thumbs up. And someone else had to go, yeah. And yeah, what do you think? Great. Yeah, me too. Go with that. Hey, vodka rocks, why don't we get nipple to nipple? Wow. That's about as bad as it gets. Anyway, I always say producing tomorrow's radio programs today. You can catch this show down the dial with another host on another station tomorrow, next week, next month. It'll happen. Someone will be talking about the Superdome and what it meant for the city and the CBD and all the downtown buildings. Corey Johnson with you. New Orleans native son telling it like it is. I don't befriend the big shots and the politicians because I may have to talk about them on the program. Plus, I'm fortunate. I'm serious. I'm not trying to be a jerk when I say this. I'm fortunate. I've got lots of family. I've got lots of friends, close friends, and a lot of acquaintances. I know a lot of people in New Orleans. Can make phone calls and get stuff done, little aces in the hole all over the place. Not because I'm on radio or television or I'm special, because I'm 56 and I've been in this city that's like a small town where everybody knows everyone. Plus, I went to a large amount of schools. I'm like an Army, Navy brat. I just never left the city. But I went to a tremendous amount of schools in New Orleans, an absurd list. It's ridiculous. I'm talking from nursery school to 12th grade. Gaines, St. Pius, Newman, St. Andrews, Trinity, Jesuit, De La Salle. I'm tired now. Lots of schools. Gaines, St. Pius, Newman, St. Andrews, Trinity, Jesuit, De La Salle. And then, of course, Louisiana State University and Agriculture and Mechanical College up in Baton Rouge, where honestly I learned more in 7th grade. On Jackson Avenue at Trinity, I learned more in 7th grade at Trinity than I did at 6 years of undergraduate studies at LSU practically. Chemistry at Trinity, we had like beakers with, you had the goggles on and the gloves and Bunsen burners and all this stuff like in the chemistry lab. You took a foreign language, either Spanish or French, and you took Latin. There was a Latin class. It was absurd. I mean, the art class, I'll never forget this. The art class you took in 7th grade at Trinity, it was the lines drawn going inward, the checkerboard narrowing to show you depth, not just draw a tree with a flower coming out of the ground. Oh, there's mom and dad by the house, a dog. Hey, you drew the tree bigger than the house. That means you like your mother better than your dad. Whatever. It was none of that. It was like, way beyond 7th grade. Yeah, I think Trinity on Jackson Avenue, 7th grade, I learned more than 6 years of undergraduate studies up in Baton Rouge. LSU, athletics, as good as it gets. Very good to excellent all the time. A bad day for LSU athletics is very good. And I'm not talking about like football the last few years being 500-ish. Kelly's already going to fix that problem. That problem is being solved. There's an emphasis on fixing that problem. There's no emphasis on fixing Middleton Library and the leaky roof, tearing it down. There's no emphasis on fixing old buildings. Robert Mann can't even get a vacuum cleaner, garbage cans with water in them. It's sad. I mean, LSU is like on a 1 to 10 scale, athletically 11, like pro almost. Some facilities are better than the pros. I mean, they say Bertman Bach Stadium, the baseball stadium, the guts of it, better than about 5 or 8 major league teams. Major league. The pros, not minor league, major league. I mean, you just have some superior athletic facilities, coaches, money invested. LSU athletics, I mean, that's number one. That's the biggest thing. That is excellence. That on a 1 to 10 scale, an 11. Academics on a 1 scale, about a 3. About a 3. Alabama is kicking LSU's rear end academically. Before Nick Saban, like 30 years ago, right around when I graduated from LSU, around 91, mid-90s, Alabama started focusing on academics. More national merit scholars go to the University of Alabama than any other school in America. They give you the free ride. And then people end up staying in Alabama. My niece went to Alabama and now lives in Birmingham working for Boeing. Well, I don't know what to tell you. Alabama academics for an undergraduate, superior to LSU, and there's no argument. It isn't, well, it depends on what you tell. Generally speaking, you send your kid for 4 years of undergraduate studies at Alabama, you're getting a better education than LSU. And for me, an LSU grad, a Louisiana person, New Orleans native, that's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. I mean, we're with like Ole Miss and Mississippi State. I mean, Arkansas has better academics. Arkansas. Don't even have a city in that state. Kentucky, not even a city in that state, better academics. And then, I mean, don't even talk about like Florida or Georgia or Texas A&M, just blows LSU's academics away. And then, of course, Vanderbilt's Vanderbilt. That's like Duke, Stanford almost. Now, LSU has mediocre on a good day academics and no one caring, no emphasis to make academics at the level that athletics are. I don't want to diminish athletics. I don't want to take a single thing away from athletics. I want to invest more in athletics. I want LSU to win more championships, be set up to be even better, to keep up with the competition, to better the competition with coaches, facilities, the whole 9 yards. But I want academics to be equal to athletics. Great at football and physics. Great at football and physics. Why can't it be that way? Why is there this, LSU athletics, LSU football better be best in the country. We got to beat Alabama. And academics, it's okay. My kid went there. They're doing just fine. Why that? Why not? Boy, you go to LSU, you get a degree from LSU, you are kicking butt. It is a great academic school. It is a very good to great academic school. It's nowhere near that. It's nowhere near that. And that's sad. That's pathetic. That is a reflection on us, Louisiana natives, that it just says we don't care about the academic side at LSU. We don't really care about the academic, the important thing. We care about the entertaining thing. The important thing to us is Saturday night football, those 12 games a year and postseason, hopefully. That's vitally important. That's a life change. That national championship a few years ago, that changed my life. My kid getting an education or me getting a quality education from LSU, that doesn't matter. That's sort of the attitude, and that's unacceptable. That just bums me out that I'm not my head in the sand. I don't accept the academics, and I compare apples to apples to the rest of the SEC, to universities around the region and the country, and LSU doesn't do well academically. It's sad. It's pathetic. It's LSF. It's Louisiana State football. It's not Louisiana State University. The academics in the university are secondary. They are an afterthought to athletics for Louisiana people, and that's a major problem. Athletics need to be an afterthought. That doesn't mean they lose or you de-emphasize them, but it's the university. There are 32,000 students there, and there are 1,000 athletes. It's crazy. And it's, most Louisianians. I love when UNO built the middle class in New Orleans. I'm like, there was one? There's a middle class in New Orleans and UNO built it? That's really a sad story, because I went to UNO one summer, and UNO's no different from LSU. Painfully mediocre. Painfully mediocre. I don't know which school's better academically. I mean, if it were NFL season, 17 games season, LSU's 4 and 13 and UNO's 5 and 12 or 3 and 14. I mean, I don't know. We're talking about teams that are nowhere near 500, nowhere near playoffs, nowhere being good. No, something wrong with that. Unacceptable. Corey Johnson with you. Wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Lebanon's Cafe. I pick up Lebanon's Cafe all the time. I get chicken shawarma. I get some tabbouleh. I get that fried football kibbe. It's outstanding. Carlina or Heba or Isabel, they'll take care of you over at Lebanon's Cafe. Lamb chop, shish kebab, all your Middle Eastern sides. They're open till 9:30 tonight. They're on Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn. Tonight for dinner, Lebanon's Cafe.
Come on down to New Orleans' own Bourbon Street, the toilet of the Crescent City. Literally. Need to urinate? Pee right on one of the historic buildings. Need to vomit? It's okay. Throw up right in the street. Bourbon Street. Prostitution, drugs, strip joints, daiquiri shops, and trinket stores. The toilet of the Crescent City. Come on down. It's Bourbon Street.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anyway. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, is now more convenient than ever. Now open, the Woodhouse Day Spa, Metairie location, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. Metairie and Kenner's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa.
When you think of Fury's restaurant in Metairie, you think about the freshest local seafood anywhere. Shrimp, oysters, speckled trout, flounder, snapper, soft shells, crawfish. Fury's restaurant in Metairie.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Louisiana is unique. The food, the festivals, even the bugs. No, not mud bugs. Unwanted bugs like these. The ones you don't want crawling in your home or business. Trust the Shield from J&J Exterminating. We've been protecting Louisiana homes for over 50 years, earning the trust of our clients because we deliver what we promise. Protect your home from pests. Get the Shield from J&J Exterminating.
J&J Exterminating. Yeah.
The Port of New Orleans Napoleon Terminal is nearly doubling in size, with 4 new gantry cranes being installed and over $100 million being invested. That means lots of new jobs, port traffic, and tax dollars for the city. The Port of New Orleans, your port.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
If you love Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City, you're going to love Bienvenue in Harahan. The same folks bringing a little of that New Orleans flavor to Hickory Avenue. If you love Katie's, come to Bienvenue on Hickory Avenue in Harahan.
Tommy's Lock and Alarms is now hiring service and installation technicians. Great benefits, great pay, take-home vehicle. Apply today. Tommy'sLockandAlarms.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
At Home Paint and Decorating, our paints are in it for the long haul. In fact, our top Benchmore exterior paints come with a lifetime warranty. Not 25 years, not 50 years, we mean forever. You heard right. At Helm Paint, our top exterior paints have a lifetime warranty against chipping, peeling, and flaking. They also are mildew resistant. Imagine painting your home one time and being done with it. Visit any one of our locations today and make that once-in-a-lifetime purchase. Paint that has a lifetime warranty. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Some old meters stuff, about 55 years old. It's crazy. I still see George Porter walking around in my neighborhood. Lives down the street. So if this stuff's 55 years old, George Porter was like, it's got to be like, I don't know, 75? Going on 80? Which is crazy that they were doing this stuff at like 20, 22, 23, 24 years old. Wow. Geniuses. The meters. The Louisiana Superdome, 47 years old today. The visionary Dave Dixon. Glad I could call him a friend. He was just a great man. Great for New Orleans. I mean, antique dealer on Royal Street, father of the Superdome, father of the USFL, World Team Tennis, and kind of an unsung hero of civil rights in New Orleans. He was a good man that didn't have a racist bone in his body and saw that injustice, the inequity, and it made him sick. And he did a lot of things to change that. Governor John McKithen. No, we get an NFL team because of this great future stadium, the Superdome. That if the Dome wasn't there, we're not getting the Saints. The Saints weren't playing at Tulane Stadium indefinitely. That was always temporary. Super Bowls, Final Fours, the Pope, the Rolling Stones, Duran, Ali. Superdome's seen it all in its 47 years. Republican National Convention. Incredible. 52 acres. The site for the dome, the parking, that it sits on, 52 acres. The steel frame of the dome, 13 acres. The roof of the dome, 10 acres. The floor of the dome, nearly 4 acres, just massive in size, 27 stories tall. Amazing. Dave Dixon, thank you for so much. And boy, the Superdome, besides all of that, part of New Orleans' explosive growth in the 70s. 1 million people in the metro area in 1970. By 1980, 1.3 million. Grew by 30% in a decade. From 1972 to 1984. And buildings are planned years in advance. So this is all late 60s to mid 80s. From 72 to 84, those 13 years, you had 25 major office buildings built from the ground up, not renovated, brand new, all at least 250 feet tall, all at least 20 stories, 25 of them built from 1972 to 1984. Just an insane amount of growth. In 1972, it was One Shell Square and the Marriott Hotel. 1975, the Superdome opened. In 76, it was the Hyatt Regency. 1977, it was the Riverside Hilton, and it was the Amoco Building. 1979, Mobile Building. One Canal Place. 1980, Pan American Life. 1981, Chevron Building. 1982, the Sheraton. 1983, Texaco Center, Weston Canal Place. One Poydras Plaza, Poydras Center. 1984, Place St. Charles, Energy Center, JW Marriott. 1555 Poydras, Freeport McMoran Building. 1550 Poydras, those trio of buildings across from the Dome. Meridian Hotel, Windsor Court Hotel. Just an insane amount of high-rise buildings, hotels, office buildings, 6-7 million square feet of office space, 7,000 hotel rooms. Add LL&E on Poydras, 909 Poydras a few years later in 87. C&G Tower, then Dominion Tower, now Benson Tower in 89. That 1972 to 1984 stretch, a couple of dozen major office towers, hotel towers built, making the CBD, defining New Orleans. I mean, in the mid to late 80s, New Orleans had one of America's best skylines, modern, new glass buildings, cutting edge, anchored by the Superdome. And you had one Shell Square in Place St. Charles. Problem is, Skyline hadn't changed that much in the last 40 years. You're beelining across the lake from the causeway, Skyline looks the same. You're coming over the, West Bank Expressway, over the Harvey Tunnel, on the high rise over there, CBD, Skyline looks the same. You're coming in from the high rise in the east, Skyline looks the same. For 40 years. But 40 years ago, it was pretty significant. 40 years, a lot of cities, a lot of buildings have been built all over America. But boy, the Superdome anchoring the city in so many ways. In so many ways. Corey Johnson with you on a wide open Wednesday. Hey, you on the causeway? I got a phone number for you. I got a phone number for you to Trey Yen in Mandeville. Fire in that to-go order right now. They got curbside pickup. You drive right up. They walk it out to your car. Mom, dad, the kids, they'll love a big to-go order from Trey Yen. That phone number is 985-626-4476. 626-4476. Don't forget the tongue cho sauce. Fire in a big to-go order at Trey Yen in Mandeville.
Super discount store in Chalmette.
3235 Paris Road.
The lowest price allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and beer.
Worth the drive from anywhere.
If you're throwing a party and